In today's video, I'll be walking you through my bulletproof automated money management system that takes me only 15 minutes every month. Hey everyone, my name is Arjun and welcome back to the channel. So recently I was reading this book called Atomic Habits by James Clear, and one quote from this book really stood out to me. It said that you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So for example, if your goal was to lose weight, then you need to be focusing on your systems of eating well, going to the gym often, and make that a part of your identity. So that way you not only achieve the goal, but you also maintain it and stay there for the long run. I tried to translate that concept over to my finances, and I realized that instead of having financial goals like, let's say, saving for a down payment or maximizing my 401k, I needed to follow a systems-based approach. That's what this video is going to be about. I'll walk you through my entire personal finance system from end to end. I tried to base my system on two key themes. The first is the idea of paying myself first. And what that means is that my income is either saved or invested before any expenses or discretionary purchases. This is one of the golden rules of personal finance because it removes the temptation to overspend. The money that I do get to spend, I can spend guilt-free on restaurants, online shopping, whatever I wanted to, because I know that my savings and investments are already taken care of. The second is efficiency. I didn't want to spend every waking hour thinking, oh, you know what, I have this bill due, I need to transfer money from this account to this account, and basically all these other things that just cause unnecessary stress. They say that efficiency is just clever laziness. So I wanted the system to almost run on autopilot and take care of all of the menial tasks so that I could focus on things that actually mattered. Now that you know the motivation behind this, let me show you how it actually works. Right at the top, we have my gross income. I have a pre-tax 401k set up through my employer, which I max out. Contributions happen automatically. The amount is taken out from my paycheck before I even see it and invested right away. I also have an HSA for my medical expenses set up in the exact same way. That is also maxed out and automatically invested every paycheck. The remaining amount is subject to taxes. So that would be federal taxes, state taxes, and FICA taxes here in America. After taxes have been taken out, my take-home pay goes directly to my checking account through a direct deposit. This is the temporary storing place for my money as all of the other processes I've set up start to kick in. From my checking account, the first place my money goes into is my high yield savings account. I've been using Marcus for a while now. I really love them. I have sub savings accounts set up as well for different purposes. So I have my emergency fund, my house down payment, my vacation fund, etc. It's better to keep this money here than in a checking account because checking accounts give you close to zero interest, whereas high yield savings accounts give you anywhere from 0.5% to 2% in interest. The downside, however, is that you only get 6 withdrawals per month. So that's why I like to keep my medium to long-term savings here. Moving on to my investments, we have my Roth IRA. What I used to do in the past was I transfer $500 from my checking account to my Roth IRA every month and have it invested. But this year I did something sort of different. I maxed out my Roth IRA in January itself. I made a video talking about exactly why I did this, and if you want to know more, I will link to it up here. With my 401k, HSA, and IRA maxed out, the next place that my money goes into is my taxable brokerage account. I have accounts with Robinhood, Webull, Fidelity, and Vanguard. Obviously, you don't need so many accounts. I just have a few of them because each one serves a different purpose. Money is transferred to these accounts from my checking account on a set date automatically every month. Most of it is invested in index funds on a recurring basis. I try to follow the dollar cost averaging approach where I buy irrespective of how the market is doing. I feel like this really helps in removing the emotions out of investing. If the market is up, down, sideways, I don't care, I just continue buying. A smaller percentage goes towards buying individual stocks that I have high conviction in. This is where I like to have a little more fun. Recently, I invested in the Coinbase IPO. Fingers crossed, I'm really excited to see how that one's gonna turn out. But in general, I think I'm slightly more weighted towards tech stocks just because I understand that space better. Some of these stocks and index funds do give me dividends for owning them. I've set up DRIPs, which are dividend reinvestment plans, to automatically reinvest these dividends as soon as I get them. I don't even need to lift a finger, it all works like a machine, it's just great. This year, I've started buying crypto again. I strongly believe that the blockchain and cryptocurrencies are going to play a vital role in our society going forward, and I want to be a part of that. So I automatically transfer money from my checking account to my Coinbase Pro account every month to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. Obviously, this is a much smaller position than my overall stock portfolio because it is a riskier asset. Crypto prices can be extremely volatile, so dollar cost averaging in every month allows me to smooth out some of that variation. Alright, so now that my savings and investments have been taken care of, the rest of the money goes towards spending. Again, this is following that concept of paying myself first, where I prioritize saving and investments, and it's just the remainder that I use for my expenses. My expenses can be split into two buckets. So first there's my non-credit card expenses. So this would be things like rent, mortgage, student loans, auto loans, basically anything that if you pay through a credit card, you will have to pay a fee. So in my case, I only have rent. So this is set on auto pay straight from my checking account at the beginning of every month. Then there's all of my other expenses that I put on my credit card to maximize my rewards. So groceries, insurance, entertainment, basically all of my other monthly expenses I put on my various credit cards, and these are all set on auto pay so that I don't miss any payments. I've also turned on text notifications for all of my credit cards so that I know exactly when money is being spent. In addition, I also called up customer service and changed all of the billing dates to the 18th of the month. So this way, when my second paycheck comes in at around the 15th or so every month, that money is used to automatically pay off my credit card bills. So you can see that this entire system functions pretty much on its own with very little intervention from me. From an overall level, I do use mint.com just to keep track of everything. You can link all of your accounts to this website and it'll tell you exactly where your money is coming from and going to. I spend only about 15 minutes every month making sure that everything is functioning okay and there are no fraudulent charges or anything. Although automating the entire thing can be great, sometimes you can overlook small expenses like Netflix or a gym subscription that you were supposed to cancel. So using mint.com just to check and make sure everything is good, I think just allows me to cover all of my bases. Apart from all of this, I also have a Google Calendar slot set up every 6 months or so that reminds me to rebalance my accounts. And by this, I mean checking the allocation between stocks and bonds and crypto and real estate. So for example, in these last couple of months, my crypto holdings have gone up quite a lot. And if I feel uncomfortable with how much it makes up as a part of my overall portfolio, I'd probably sell some of it off and rebalance it with something else. I think it also helps to visualize this entire system as money flows into and out of different areas. I work in analytics, so I was able to quickly whip up this Sankey diagram to show you all exactly that. If you want to show your support, please consider tapping the like button and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Looking at the diagram, after taxes, 401k and HSA contributions are taken out, my take-home pay goes straight into my checking account. Money that I need in cash for medium to long-term savings go into my high-yield savings account for the extra interest. Money is also automatically transferred out of my checking into my investments like my Roth IRA, taxable brokerage, and crypto accounts. Then finally, all of my expenses except for rent and other loans go onto my credit card to maximize reward points. These credit cards are automatically paid off in full every month. I've been using this system for a while now and it's simplified my life so much. Yes, it did take me some time up front where I had to open up all of these accounts, set up automatic transfers, and change all of my billing dates. But I can honestly say that it was 100% worth it. This has worked really well for my own life, but it should not be blindly copied because personal finance at the end of the day is personal. But keeping that in mind, I hope that this video still gave you a head start in thinking about your own personal finance system. If you all have any other tips or tricks that you use to manage your money, do let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear them. With that, I think I can close out this video. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.